Good afternoon and welcome to Monday's edition of Warrior Daily. My name is Justin Arbogast here with women's basketball coach Carrie Lohr. And Coach, coming off a bit of a short week for you. We only had one game, but it was a very big game for you guys and actually proved to be very beneficial for you as you guys moved into first place. So talk about the win over Lake State on Saturday.
Well, I was a little nervous going into the game, having some time off, and you just kind of struggle with that. Is this a good time to take off, or do we really need to be playing? But obviously we didn't have a choice, and everybody in the league had an extra day off. I'm not sure that was good for us. I thought we played a little lethargic in the first half, a little flat. Okay. We certainly made some adjustments, and the players responded and stepped up in the second half. But to Lake Superior's credit, they were very ready for us. They had a very good game plan against us. They did some things a little differently defensively, and it was a good game, good win, but I'm ready to get back into our regular routine.
All right. And with that regular routine, we do have a trip coming up here to Northwood and to Saginaw Valley, a couple teams that obviously we've already played semi-recently, just a few weeks ago, so you should have a pretty good grasp on those two teams. How are things looking as we shape up into this week? I know Northwood's been playing a lot better of late.
They have, in fact, and so has Saginaw Valley, who we'll see on Saturday. I guess this is just the second time around for everybody in the North and the South, and we're hitting that turning point where I think, the next few weeks we'll really start to show teams will start to show some separation. Without question, Northwood has been playing better. They were a little sluggish at Saginaw Valley this past Saturday, and Saginaw ended up getting them by close to a 20-point margin. But that is not reflective of a Northwood team. They're a very good shooting team and a very well-coached team, and I expect they're going to have their A game ready for us on Thursday. And, with Saginaw Valley coming up on Saturday, that's just a really young group of players that are really starting to play well right now. I mean, beating Northwood on their home floor, on Saginaw's home floor by close to 20 at one point, being up 30, and they're primarily doing that with all freshmen and a sophomore.
All right. Well, now, we talked a little bit about this last week, the bench progression and things of, just maybe some of the, I don't want to say lesser players, but maybe the lesser expectation-wise players that have been stepping up for you guys and really been playing well. Talk about a couple of these girls that have just come in and just are delivering excellent minutes, because you can really go up and down the roster. Obviously, Talisha's playing great. Juanita, I think, is really starting to play a little bit better as well. But talk about some of the girls a little further down on the roster in terms of minutes.
I really think that our bench, I think I have the luxury this year of really, maybe starting a different group each night. And so I don't really look at them as, the top five or the second five. It's kind of game by game, week by week. And that's okay, because that's keeping us accountable every day in practice. Right. They know that if, they show a strong performance, they might get an early opportunity in the next game. And, I'll take, for example, Stephanie Locke, who's a redshirt freshman for us. She can really come in and I think change the game with her rebounding. I think her ability to score inside and out creates a mismatch problem for our opponents. Brittany Streeman was coming off the bench for us the past few games. She hit the lineup after just a great week, and boy, that carried over for her. Her numbers were very impressive, from 5 assists, 4 steals, some key scoring, and so I really I'd like to just not look at us so much as just the bench or the starting group, but really that's just been our style to play 10, and it really can be a different player, I think, at any given moment.
Yeah, it's very interesting to watch, because as you mentioned, it's almost any night it's somebody else stepping up and has a great game. So it's a very nice luxury to have. And as we mentioned a little bit earlier here, we did get news after the game that Michigan Tech had lost to Northern, so you guys now move into first in the GLIAC North. Talk about what that means to you, your staff, the team, just kind of the program as a whole, where you guys have come since you stepped in last year.
Well, we were first and foremost really excited to get the win from Lake Superior. Like I said, I thought they came with a great game plan, and it's going to be really tough up at Sault Ste. Marie, I think, at the end of this season. To hear that Michigan Tech lost to Northern, wasn't a big surprise because I think they just really have a strong rivalry there. I think they end up recruiting a lot of the same players. I think they both go over into Wisconsin and try to get a lot of the same players. So they really have a unique rivalry that's different from the rest of the state. So I wasn't that surprised. As far as being in first place right now, that's great. However, we really haven't accomplished anything yet.
Right.
You know, we really have a lot of games left to play. You know, everybody's going to get their second shot at whether it be at us or at each other, or we're looking at another great game against Northwood at Northwood. So I think there's still a lot of basketball to be played. So we certainly cannot rest on where we're at, but really continue to strive to get better every day and, maybe finish what we started. Because I think we've made some noise, but it's going to be how we finish is really going to be the true testimony to our season.
Well, it is always good, regardless, to be in first place, and that's going to do it for today's edition of Warrior Daily. Be sure to keep up on all the action with the women's basketball teams. You can check that out at WSU Athletics as they head up to Northwood on Thursday.